Hello and welcome to the Blue Pencil Sessions with me. I am Eileen Cook and I'm here today with my colleague Crystal, and we are tackling this one on our own because of scheduling, and we are diving into Marie's. Now, you may remember we did an earlier chapter with Marie. This is a medieval romance story of sort of Canterbury Knights kind of thing, so it's very fun. And I'm just going to open us up and say, this is a really clean piece, Marie. I particularly love the stories flowing really well. There's lots of good conflict. It's always clear to me who's speaking. And one of the things I absolutely love is all the smell details. You have great sensory details in here, which I just really, really loved, particularly in that first paragraph as she's coming back in. I just really enjoyed that. So we got nitpicky. This is what happens when you submit clean things to us. We get picky. So Crystal, what are a couple of the things that you bumped on in this?
Yeah, again, to agree with Eileen, I really enjoyed it. I think you're totally on the right direction. One of the really little things that I bumped up against was when Mary is pointing at the toes of Ariana's muddy shoes, and involuntarily both the innkeeper and Ariana look down at the dusty floor. The innkeeper had the grace to look up again quickly. And this didn't quite make sense to me in terms of that context using the word grace. Grace would seem to fit if, like, her toes were indecently naked and exposed and it was good manners to look up. It wasn't super clear what you were trying to indicate. Like, is he trying to head off his wife onto another track, or is he trying to distract her? Like, what is it about this that is actually, what is it about this that is actually the issue here? So just as a word choice, I had to read it a couple times thinking, like, I missed something. What did I miss? So that's an option to just take a look at that and see. There was one other one, which, again, just so small, but when he's saying, "Calm yourself, Mary, I'll have none of that talk here," the innkeeper closed his eyes for a moment and sighed heavily before he spoke again. Things are not always as they appear, as you well know, and our John is a sound sleeper at the worst of times. So for me, there was a couple alternative phrasings for this that would make it more clear. So he's a sound sleeper at the best of times would be like, he's usually a sound sleeper and this is an inconvenient moment for him to be asleep. Or he is a sound sleeper at the worst times. So, like, he's dead asleep when he's supposed to be on guard or paying attention to something. Both of those would make sense to me, but the way it was phrased, it didn't feel like it quite hit what you were trying to hit with it, unless I'm completely on the wrong track, which is possible. But those were really the only two places in the whole piece that bumped at all for me. It was really overall very strong.
And I only had two tiny bumps as well. So for me, one of them is when the innkeeper's wife comes in and she spots these shoes, which are muddy, which gives away the fact that she's been out. I almost wanted just a beat of panic there, or where you're angry at yourself when you've done something stupid. So for her to think like, oh, I should have thought to, knock those mud off or brush those off and I wouldn't be caught. So just to have a moment there. And then for me, at the very end of the scene, the innkeeper's wife is certainly not someone I particularly care for, but I do like the innkeeper, and he has been quite kind to her. And I wondered if she should have a beat around the time he says to her, basically, this can't happen again. Like, he's kind of letting her get away with something that could get them all in trouble. And she says, "It will not. I can promise you I will be on my best behavior." I almost wanted an internal beat at that moment where she realizes that she does plan to escape, and when she does, it's probably going to get this guy in a bit of hot water. And so I wanted her to feel a little bit bad or hope that he finds some way to get out of that, just because otherwise I think he's going to get himself stuck. But when that is the thing that I'm worried about, it tells you are in a really good shape. This reads really clearly to me. And again, like, you're just doing such a good job of making this world feel very vivid and real. So kudos to you. And to everyone else, if you want us to take a look at your pages, just be sure to hand them off to us at the Blue Pencil session, and we will be happy to do that. Take care, everybody.